Going on, everyone? Welcome to another Tech Teacher video lesson on how to use D2L to set up your online classroom. This video here is going to focus on using the release conditions, which is a tool D2L provides to help differentiate content for students at different levels. You would want to use this if you've got students that are working at different grade levels, or you've just got an individual plan in your head for a student and you have the different route for them to get to their success. What I found over the last few years of teaching is that students don't really like to be singled out as being different. So as much as you can make what they're doing look the same, it becomes very important to them, right? It's a social thing. So this tool makes it almost impossible for them to know that they're getting different material than everyone else. So let's get into it. So the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you have this awards option on your toolbar. If you don't know how to do that yet, check out the first video that I made that specifically addresses editing this toolbar. But for those of you that have it, you would click it and you can see our class list and any awards that potential students have. Now at the moment there are none, which is fine because we're going to make some. So you can click course awards and you're going to see again, no awards have been added yet, which is good. Very clutch yet. So I'm going to click add award to course. And there's a bunch of pre-created ones that have been introduced through D2L. You're going to create your own. And you want to create as many awards as you're going to have groups to differentiate for. So in this case, let's say I'm going to make 2 math groups. You can call them whatever you want. You can be discrete. You can be just out and say group 1, group 2. I prefer not to use numbers because kids tend to associate numbers with like a ranking system. So I just give them random code names. So let's say math group. We'll call this one tuna. And you have to put a description in. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm going to put in to help Mr. Anoya organize. And your kids will see that when you go to hand out the awards or put the kids in their groups, your children are going to see that they've received the award. You can preface it by telling them that, hey, this is just, I'm going to put you in groups with this. Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. They'll also see the description for it. So maybe that might help as well. The rest of this stuff, the rest of these options stay by default. Award type, badge. It could be a certificate. It doesn't matter. Availability, make it available to all your courses. Expiry, you don't want it to expire. You have to choose an image for it. I just go from existing library because there's a lot of good pictures here that you can use for it. So I'm going to pick this trophy. So that'll be the icon for the award. Issuer information should be by default filled in for your board. So I'm going to click save and close. So there's math group tuna. I'm going to add my second group, which I'm going to call math group salmon. Description, a way for Mr. Anoya to organize. And again, you can leave the rest of this stuff by default. I'm going to choose a badge. We're going to choose shaking hands. And we're going to click save and close again. So now you've got your 2 awards or my 2 math groups set up where one group of students are working at a certain level and the others are working at another. This could happen in a split class. It just depends on how you want to set this up, because you can have a whole bunch of groups. And the hardest part is just knowing which group is doing what. And I mean, just keeping it on a Word doc or writing it down could help with that. So once your awards have been created, you can go back to the main awards page under class list awards, and you can start to issue your awards. So click student names that you want to put in a certain group. So I'm just going to select the first 7 and click issue. And I'm going to select the award. I'm going to put these guys in math group salmon. And I'm just going to put in salmon for criteria. Or I can just say math group actually. So that way it's not confusing. They don't think they've won sort of a special prize. Hit issue. And now you can see under course awards that they've received that badge, which tells you that they are in group salmon. Yeah, salmon. So I'm going to uncheck these. I don't know why it doesn't do it automatically. And I'm going to select the next set of students that I want in group tuna. And click issue, select an award, tuna, award criteria, just another math group. Click issue. And now you'll see that their little trophies have come up at the bottom here as well. So now that your students have now that they've been put into their groups and they have their awards, you can go back to your content. I've already created 2 more math content tabs. If you're not really sure how to create these things, go back to lesson 2 and 3. It breaks it down pretty well for you. Now these are just blank. There's nothing in them. I'm going to add something to them. Only salmon should be seeing this. And I'm going to make it nice and big. Make it nice and big. Let's try that again. And we're going to make it as salmon colored as I can. And then we're going to click save. And then I'm going to edit this one to say only tuna should be seeing this. Going to make it huge. Color it. Tuna's pretty well the same color. Okay. Now you can see that here there's a little eye that says hidden from students. For those of you that saw the posting content videos, you'll see the little switch at the bottom that says hidden or visible. When I'm in the middle of differentiating content, I try to leave it hidden until I'm ready to send it out. So they're currently both hidden. Now, once you've got your content ready and you've got 2 different lessons ready to go for 2 different groups, or however many lessons for however many groups, you can click the 3 dots again. And one of the options is view release conditions. Now, if you click that, you can create, if you try to browse before you create any, you just won't have any. So there'll be no option there for you. So click create and select the condition type. So what a release condition is it's saying that this content will only be visible if this criteria is met. So the condition type we're going to select is awards, an award earned. So because this first one, I think I said is salmon, I'm saying they need to have the award, but they need to have the specific award for salmon. So I'm going to click create, and I'm going to click save. And then same thing here. I'm going to go to view release conditions, create, select condition type, award earned, and this is tuna. Click create, click save. Okay. So once you're ready, you'll see the hidden tab is up here now, so you can make them visible. And that little eye should switch to a gear with an eye beside it. And that's showing that you have set some sort of release condition parameter. You always want to make sure that the parameters have been set correctly. So I always recommend impersonating a student through your class list tool and just double checking that the tuna sees only what the tuna is supposed to see and the salmon only sees what the salmon's supposed to see. I recommend doing that all the time when you post a Dropbox or a discussion, just to see what it looks like on both ends. So that way, if your students are confused, it's not confusing for you because you're seeing a different thing. You would have already seen it, and you can tell them, okay, look, here's where you go, here's what you do. Now, this is the way I figured out how to differentiate content. I'm sure there's some sort of official way to do it through D2L. I haven't figured it out. This worked for me as a guy who was just kind of rumbling through D2L. And I found that once you organize it, it becomes pretty simple. Now, in my case, I made them the same name. You don't have to do that. If you want to organize the content tabs, you can. I would just find that if I clicked it, I can kind of get an idea of what the lesson was about. That's personal. That's totally subjective. You can do that however you want. The main point of this video was using that awards tool and the release conditions tool in tandem to be able to provide different content for different students at different levels. So that's pretty well this one. It's a nice short one. I left this one on its own because I figured people would be using this. This was something I was really kind of after and had a hard time finding. So yeah, stay tuned. Otherwise, as always, give the page a like. If you're seeing this on YouTube, make sure to subscribe so you can keep up with everything else that's coming along. I am slowing down my process a bit. I feel like I jumped the gun just a little bit in that when everybody else was kind of starting their summer and resting, I sort of jumped into this, which in hindsight wasn't the best idea. I think I could have timed it a little better with everyone coming back into the workflow and getting ready for the new year. But hindsight's 2020. I'm going to keep doing this, just they're going to be a little more spread out to give myself some more time to organize. So stay tuned. Next is going to be creating content and kind of what's involved there and what tools you need and how to do that to the best of your ability. All right. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time.